The price of Uniswap is down in this $4 range, and we have the potential to push back to the old all-time high nearly 1000% away. In this video, I'm going to give you my full price prediction for Uniswap, Unicoin going into 2023 and this upcoming bull run expected to end by 2026. Smash the like, subscribe, leave a comment, and tap that notification bell to stay up to date with all of my videos. Make sure to check out this video description where I have my trading masterclass at 50% off, and you can sign up with the top global crypto exchange. Let's now look at the long-term price of Uniswap. We're currently on the weekly time frame and we're on the Coinbase chart for Uni. We can see here, originally going back to the 14th of September. When we look at the Uni launch day, we can see that Uniswap price, Uni token, was launched back in September of 2020. So we do have the most current price here back in September of 2020. We had this massive bull run basically going from around this 50-cent range over $44. So basically an 80x in price, and then absolutely crashing from its current price over 90% down. Yes, 90.5% currently down, basically right at its lowest point. So one of the biggest things that we can see when we look at the all-time price, this was basically the price that Uniswap has launched. As much as it was that 50-cent range, and there is a bit of a range between 50 cents and around that $4 range, you can see that this box is quite wide, but overall this is where the price of Uniswap originally has began. And when we scroll into the recent price, every time we've come into this area, we are beginning to see bounces. So when we look at the overall price and we scroll out and we see where Uniswap has traded overall, this entire box, we're looking to buy in this lower end of the box, sell in this upper end of the box. Overall goal is to buy low and sell high. So if we do expect an upcoming bull run for all overall crypto in general, not just Uniswap, then we can look for some potential prices because we're looking to buy low in these levels and then push higher. But there is one real very key point that I want to make that actually signals to be getting long in the market, and right now that is this 20 exponential moving average, which is the orange line on the chart. Right now, what are we looking at? We're actually seeing a decline in the exponential moving average, like many other crypto coins except for Ethereum and Bitcoin, although recently has begun to tick down, but this whole area has looked very strong. But you can see we've got this decline. So this downward slope in the EMA, it just signals high probability of more downside continuation. That's all that it signals. And every time we've come back to this 20 EMA, as much as we have poked through it, every time we basically used it as a resistance level. Reason being was we had the slope. You just need to be trading in the probabilistic way. Right now, we haven't got a really strong uptick in this exponential moving average, which would just be signaling basically buy at every single point. But we don't have that yet. So we can't be saying, okay, I want to be getting into Uniswap. Where are the points I want to be selling? We will look at some points that I want to be selling, but the main point from this right here is saying that there is no current buy on Uniswap. I would rather be buying up in this area right here at this $7 range, but also have a really high probability that the confirmation has come through. I've got the exponential moving average moving in my favor. Okay, I'm getting a worse price. I'm getting close to double price. So I'm paying 50 to 60% higher in price, but I'm basically can guarantee that I'm actually buying in the long-term uptrend, meaning that I have a much higher probability at that point to then expect higher prices. Whereas now, potentially, we could even spike below, come into this $3 range. I would rather be a high probability trader rather than a high risk trader, because the risk is higher here, yes, but the reward is also higher. Whereas my reward is less up here, but my risk is much lower. So overall, it just depends on what type of trader you want to be. But that's why I'm always teaching everything in my course. And the more you watch these videos, really, you will understand everything. The next thing that we will look at is some potential sell areas, because much as it's not a buy yet, I do know that it will come, and we need to understand even now, when we have a rational mind, when we're not currently in the position, where are some areas to get out? Because then I can look back on this video when I have a rational mind, I'm not being emotional because I'm not in the position. I can say, okay, these are some really solid areas to actually get out. Instantly, I'm noticing this area right here on the market. The reason being is we have a very consistent support. As much as this support is a little bit higher, you're definitely always drawing a bit of a box when you're drawing support. You can't just say that price is an exact $15.25. Usually we'll have a range, especially maybe $16 to $14, give or take $1 of that $15 range. So we do have a bit of a support here. We'll also have a support in this range. And then we can see we have got a solid breakdown. Even in this area, wasn't actually a very strong push up because we weren't even able to get back into that support to resistance zone. But overall, we've definitely got a really strong support level here. When we're able to get back into this level at around that $15 range, I would definitely expect at least a short-term small sell-off in that area. Definitely, because you would have actually expected some people to be buying in this area, because reason being is when you look to the left in this area here, people would have been buying. When you look to the left, you see 3 massive support zones, and then you get a massive push higher in this area, over 100% push up. When it comes back into this area, a lot of people are thinking, okay, buy here, expect a massive push higher. You get this collapse. Even a lot of people haven't exited out of their position, but when price finally comes back, they even on their trade, they will look to get out. Obviously, to get out of a long, you need to short in the market or sell. So that selling will then cause some sell pressure in the market. So not only will you have new entrants coming in, you also have old entrants coming in. So you really want to understand that. From our current price, we're looking at around 250% gain, so definitely a solid gain. Obviously, we'll be getting in at just a bit worse of a price because I'd prefer to have that much higher probability, but we will still be buying on a pullback, so we will get one of the better prices that we can. Overall, 250% to the upside. Definitely a really strong area to be looking to sell out of Uniswap. The next area that I'm really looking at is, rather than looking at this exact all-time high position where it's around that $35 to $45 range, there wasn't much price actually traded in this area, so I'm not very confident to say that we're going to get exactly into this box of area. Whereas you can see there's a lot more price being traded in this area. We had price traded here, here, and also here. We've also had price traded all through this area and also through this area. So we've got a bit of a line in the market where not only did we use this as a bit of a support, we also use it as a bit of resistance. Initially resistance, then support, then resistance, again resistance. So there's a bit of a line right through here in the market where there's definitely been a fair bit of price traded. So as much as I don't want to say going back to the old all-time high, this is basically an all-time high, nearly retest. So from this position right here, we're looking around a 650%, close to 700% gain. So that's a really solid gain. Again, on that first position, look to take 10 to 20% out, look to at least take another 10 to 20% out on the next position, look to be at least 50% out already with that 600% gain, and then just look, that would basically wipe out all of my initial capital. That would mean I've got all my initial capital, I can put that into a new coin, and everything that I'm writing on this extra coin is just basically pure profit. It's a little bit hard to do a trend-based Fibonacci extension in the market right now because we don't actually have much price traded previously of 2020. But if we're actually to say that this was the all-time low, this is the high, come back to this low, there's definitely the 1618, which is where I want to look at, but that's definitely a massive push up looking at that $80 area. Really, the next thing that I want to focus on is, you can see Uniswap is currently at 27 of all cryptocurrencies. It's got $2.5 billion market cap. So for Uniswap to get from its current price all the way up to that 650% gain, let's call it 700% for maths, this would need a 7x in the market. So a 4x, so it would need to go up to basically $17.5 billion to get that 7x in the market to actually go up to this price right here. The market cap would need to follow. So we're looking at this $80 price range because Uniswap is a decentralized exchange. There's definitely a massive use case. They get a massive amount of fees, especially because it's using a lot of Ethereum. It's on the Ethereum blockchain. So the fees on Ethereum are massive. Looking to the upside, we'll say 1800%. Let's just call it 2000 because it's much easier for maths. So that's a 20x from here. So a 10x from Uniswap here would be 25 billion. A 20x would be 50 billion. It would put Uniswap basically in the top 5 coins out of every single coin. You can see, yes, it would be within the top 5. It would basically be the third coin out of all the coins. So you can see right here, is that plausible for Uniswap to become the third biggest coin in the entire market? The one thing that you also need to take into account is when we have a bull market, all the coins will also massively increase in market cap. So we won't be pushing to that third spot, because equivalently we'll probably be around that 13th to 14th spot, because everything will rise as we rise. But that's just something to take into account. If we are to make basically a 20x in the market, we need to make a 20x in the market cap. Is it possible for Uniswap to get up to that $50 billion market cap? So it's definitely something that we need to take into account, and I'll be looking into future videos actually tell you once we get this exponential moving average finally tick to the upside, that's when I'm looking to be getting into my position. Smash the like, subscribe, leave a comment, tap that notification bell, and check out this video description for everything on my trading masterclass, and click your screen right now if you want to continue watching my YouTube videos.